as was said, I was involved in student government and was the collegiate vice president in my senior year. With the political environment and campus unrest of that period and the tragic killings at Penn State, it was very challenging times. I certainly did have my ups and downs in my senior year, particularly with Dean Miller. But with the help of the Associate Dean, Kay Maloney, and President Wilson, I avoided being kicked out and graduated with my class. As Wells was instituting the collegiate trustee position in my senior year, I decided to throw my hat in the ring. And after several runoffs, I was elected to serve the first two-year term on the Board of Trustees. It was an extremely rewarding experience. I was flung from being a student of Wells to being a steward of Wells. It was a tremendous opportunity to learn, but also to be able to give back with a unique perspective. Right then, I knew that I would continue to be close to Wells in all respects in order to help other young women experience the value of a Wells education. And aside for a minute, unlike later trustees meetings, which have always been packed to the gills with commitments, in the first cycle, there always seemed to be time for a sale in the fall and the spring. And Judge William Timbers came on as a trustee the same year that I did. And we always went sailing, weather permitting. In our second year, we were suddenly frantically hailed from the shore to return post-haste. Looked around, it certainly had nothing to do with sudden change of weather coming across the lake, but rather, when we got ashore, the President of the United States needed to speak with him immediately to read his consideration as a potential nominee for the United States Supreme Court. That was pretty exciting. All in all, he didn't end up serving, but all in all, what a fabulous two-year experience to begin your business career. At the same time, I was looking for a new job, having decided that my research position at the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston was just not for me. So I came face to face with the stark realities of the business world while interviewing endlessly at Essex Bank for that management trainee position. I was asked by a senior executive about my childbearing plans. And after swiftly recovering my smoldering composure, I politely told him that A, it was an illegal question, and B, it was none of his business. Surprisingly, I got the job that day. So through mergers, acquisitions, insourcing, outsourcing, upsizing, downsizing, and a major bank failure, I lasted 34 years in a wall of business cards, predominantly as a project manager for corporate-level projects. These 34 years have provided me with an incredibly well-rounded general management experience. There's very little that happens in business that I have not had some exposure to in all those years. And this has been a fabulous background for all of my volunteer pursuits. As I look back to that bank job in 1971, I certainly understood that while women were making progress in business, we still needed to be a cut above any of our male colleagues just to get hired. Secondly, the politics of business, like elective politics, was not appealing to me, and I was too content to make the projects hum and let someone else fight the political battles and climb to the top of the corporate ladder. But I have to tell you, I've outlasted virtually everyone over 30 years. One excellent requirement of that first bank job was that all managers and officers had to be active in community service. To this day, I applaud and support that attitude in business. I said thanks but no thanks to the Boy Scout Council, which was in bankruptcy at the time, and I said, there's too many of you guys, you can figure it out. And I went back to my roots with the Girl Scouts.